Douglas Coffee County judicial system, now, being questioned by two tax-paying citizens, and perhaps the best is yet to come. The Ghetto Free Press, reporting what others ignore due to their own blindness. St. John 8:32, Joel 2 verse 1. G.B.R.
Greetings. I'm George Boston Ryan with the Get to Free Press, a social media network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, www.georgebostonryans.com, and other sites on the web. This morning I want to talk about what happened in the court case concerning the Superior Court of the State of Georgia versus Bobby Worthy and Mr. Paul Nally. As you know, in September of 22, these two individuals faced a court judge. And of course, on April the 12th of this week, they were back in the courtroom and I was there. I recorded it and I want to share it with you. I want to be brief. I don't want to extend the time, but I do want to give you all a little background in terms of why these two outstanding citizens who fight for civil, human, and women's rights have been brought up on charges, as you will hear in this video. The first video was of the first trial, and then I will go into the trial of April 12th this week that I also put in my Rule 22 and was in the courtroom. However, Judge Gillis asked me or informed me that I need to put in a Rule 22 request that also includes the state prosecutor. I have never read that in any document in the state of Georgia that I had to do such. And I've crossed many cities and counties across the state of Georgia, all the way up into the Georgia Court of Appeals. But I've said it before and I will say it again. I informed Judge Gillis that I have never, ever had to go through such. However, I do know that I have been excluded from certain court cases in Douglas and Coffee County for reasons of technicalities that I never confronted anywhere else in the state of Georgia. I don't want to get in that too much, but what I do want to talk about is I want you to not judge, prejudge. I want you to go on the facts in terms of why Roscoe Allen mistreatment and denied his $42,000, which is the base of all of these allegations in Coffee County Judicial Circuit.
You too, Preston. You write the news too. Now you wrote about them going on that trip. Spending what, $1,700? Why didn't you put this in the paper about Francis Locke, Griffin, Gillis Joseph? You know, they're free. Water sewer ran free behind closed doors. I found about a policy, y'all said suspended. It wasn't never suspended. Why you put that in the paper? Preston, huh? Does it on Friday where you at? Why you put that in the paper? But you don't put in the paper about what they done, little penny money. There you go, they spending $1,000 on water away sewer. It cost me $42,000 run mine. Now what the thing it cost them? They so even bigger than mine. They all complaining about, hey, every time Friday when the newspaper is biased towards Friday. That's what I'm suing it does that. But I'm saying, okay, how much money I spent, I'm gonna sue the city too. Come on, and Charlie Taylor, how I directed something to him on my $1.30? You tell me, how I
This reads, Coffee County judges Mr. Roscoe Allen, $42,000. 2 citizens assisting another, and that other is Roscoe Allen. Commissioner Olivia Coley Pearson, and Truth marching forward on behalf of the public. And I'm the Get To Free Press, and we report what others ignore.
I wrote the chief judge who's presiding over the case today a same letter, sent him a letter through email of that same statement that they're holding Roscoe over his authority. They didn't listen, basically. So we filed, my co-defendant filed a petition with the Coffee County Grand Jury to have him for falsifying documents, violation of his oath of office, and to remove the Superior Court Judge James Kelly Brook from office.
Judge J. Kelly Brooks, Mr. Roscoe Allen, unfair treatment. That's what it's all about. If you Google the playlist, you will see that Commissioner Olivia Coley Pearson is the only elected official that stood up for Mr. Roscoe Allen, receiving fair treatment in the same manner as the white contractors. This is the base of why Bobby Worthy and Paul Nally went into the defense of Roscoe Allen, who was jailed, put on a restriction or banning order, went to prison, and the rest is history. But you wouldn't know that unless you digest this information that I'm about to give you today. Now I want you to listen to it, and we're going to give you the court case for September of 22 last year, and then I'm going to follow with the current court case that took place April the 12th of this week, and of course the rest is history. Now let's sit back, let's relax, and I want to help you to see why Paul Nally and Bobby Worthy was brought up on charges by the judicial system, with Sansot being the prosecutor in many of these cases, including the bogus voter fraud case that came up against Commissioner Olivia Coley Pearson, and the rest is history.
not wish to plead guilty or not guilty. I am immune from criminal prosecution under this matter. I'm under the 14th Amendment, Article 1, 14th Amendment, Section 1, second sentence, and the precedent case of New York Times Company v. So. You never had an immunity claim.
Well, immunity based on self-defense. You want to put that in a motion. And
If you would like a motion to that effect, I will generate one and electronically file it and PDF it to you.
And I believe Mr. Nally has filed some sort of motion to
There's a plea and bar provision.
and that's the solution to that is a plea and bar if there's some deficiency with the indictment or some issue there. The options today are not guilty or guilty. Those are the only options that are noted.
However, the plea and bar, if I'm not mistaken, Your Honor, is a free arraignment period. And I think you mentioned you wanted to hear some law in regard to that.
You know, those are pleas and bars that routinely dealt with that long after a rain.
yeah, I'm not sticking on the timeline. We'll get to it. But we're sort of in a holding pattern until you all can get your order. What we're trying to do, or I'm trying to do today, is just get your case keyed up and moving. And something, it's been a while. So, I didn't want to just lay around out there linger.
No, it doesn't need to.
Mr. Worley, it shows that you can form for me that King Road and scratch out a couple times. So, the insert a copy of that, which was not guilty. That's the sign right here, which says defendant, sign right here. Yes, sir, you can provide us a copy of it. This is your copy. This is not something that's a copy. You want me to sign it? Please not. Mr. Nally, should say that you've been formally arraigned, and so a copy of the bill of indictment was witnesses including not guilty.
Not guilty, right?
No, sir, hopefully those are not, that's not good today. If you tell them, there's a sign that's all right, use the sign, this is just part of the
Remember, not to go out with the juries. I better to say, I would think it'd be better for them to say not guilty, but immune is not an entry. That's a defense, which we'll get to.
How about not guilty due to it? But that's okay, I can make sure the jury understands.
Well, and then the reverse of that is if the court, me or whatever judge denies an immunity defense, then
Right.
it may look like, well, since that failed, prove I'm guilty then. You know? Now be careful with that until you
Exactly.
see a warrant.
I want to make for the record that, because of this pending felony, because of the job that I qualified for, that I ain't qualified, the companies won't get a chance on having it because of the pending felony, because they saying, hey, you qualified for it, you're all right, but if you go to jail or to prison, you're going to get somebody else. So this to me is not an indictment, it's not that's another argument. Initially, the requirements to go to the grand jury in the first place. We never found out, and never made it doesn't even meet the requirements to go to the grand jury, to present to the grand jury, but that's another argument for the court. This is causing my life a mess right now, and I'm not too happy about it.
Well, either myself or through another judge, as I mentioned earlier, if you would let the court know, just as soon as you get the legal record
chief judge who's presiding over the case today a same letter, sent him a letter through email of that same statement that they're holding Roscoe over his authority. They didn't listen, basically, so we filed, me and my co-defendant filed a petition with the Coffee County Grand Jury to have him for falsifying documents, violation of his oath of office, and to remove the Superior Court Judge James Kelly Brook from office.
February 7th, 2020. Attention, Judge J. Kelly Brooks. 800 Church Street, Suite 223. Waycross, Georgia, 31501. 912-287-4443/kellybrooks@gmail.com. CC Chief Judge Dwayne H. Gillis. Email gillis2354@gmail.com. Re Tony L. Polk versus Roscoe Allen /unlawful. Retraining order /protective order. To the Honorable J. Kelly Brooks. This is my official notice that you are in direct violation of your oath of office when you unlawfully issue a restraining order against a free man, citizen, one Roscoe Allen without any supporting evidence, documents, or witnesses to the allegations brought before you by an unindicted felon one Tony L. Polk. Your gross abuse of discretion in violation of the guaranteed rights with an object lacking of evidence, I will be filing an in-bank writ of mandamus to compel your compliance with the canon of judicial conduct, your oath of office, your sworn statutory duty to do substantial justice for all. You have until Wednesday, February 12, 2020 to correct your error by vacating your unlawful order. If you fail to comply, then legal action will be taken against you in the United States District Court under U.S. Title 18, Sector 241 Conspiracy Against Rights, and 242 Color of Law Violation, along with a Judicial Qualifications Complaint to immediately remove you from office. I will also be filing a petition to the grand jury issue an indictment against you for violation of your oath of office. Marbury v. Madison 5 U.S. 137. The principles of the U.S. Constitution makes any law, any procedure, null and void when it violates the Constitution. Respectfully submitted. Bobby Worthy, National President for the Justice League United.
Short form. First of all, why are you even here today?
Well, we're here because some unlawful charges from the Coffee County Grand Jury for filing a petition to the grand jury, and they reversed the charges, had the grand jury indict us for filing false documents to have a judge arrested. A guy named Roscoe Allen was held beyond his order, protected order, for 12 months. The judge, in that order, they never extended Roscoe's time frame. They never took him back to court to extend it. They never took him to court to charge him with a new crime. And that order, during the time Roscoe was in, expired. So thus, the order expired, so did the authority of the judge to keep him incarcerated, and we try to bring it to their attention. Matter of fact, I wrote the chief judge who's presiding over the case today a same letter, sent him a letter through email of that same statement that they're holding Roscoe over his authority. They didn't listen, basically, so we filed, me and my co-defendant filed a petition with the Coffee County Grand Jury to have him for falsifying documents, violation of his oath of office, and to remove the Superior Court Judge James Kelly Brook from office. retaliated, which is, I'm sure George Barnhill has something to do with that. He's the DA now, the Judicial Circuit, until January or February when they take the new DA comes in office. He also was the one that George Barnhill played the major part in one of the major parts in the Ahmaud Arbery case, where George Barnhill, decided that the Michaels, the murderers, were justified in killing Ahmaud Arbery. Matter of fact, I wrote the chief judge who's presiding over the case today a same letter, sent him a letter through email, that same statement that they're holding Roscoe over his authority. They didn't listen, basically, so me and my co-defendant filed a petition with the Coffee County Grand Jury to have him for falsifying documents, violation of his oath of office, and to remove the Superior Court Judge James Kelly Brook from office. He was on that same petition with Jackie Johnson. Which this petition, we did get a chance to, with that petition in Glenn County, that me and my co-defendant did get a chance to go to address the Glenn County Grand Jury on our petition to them to answer the charges is why Jackie Johnson was removed from office. Not removed from office, but indicted by the Glenn County Grand Jury. So we did it here. They in return retaliated and filed false charges on us for falsifying documents.
What was it and what happened today?
Well, today was an arraignment. Basically, arraignment is a plea of guilty, not guilty. Of course, we pleaded not guilty. And there was other things, what's going on, status of the case and what's going on with the case. One of the things that I think, the key things that I mentioned today is why the Superior Court Judge Gillis, the chief judge, did not recuse himself from the beginning of this trial. The petition that we filed was against one of his judges in his judicial circuit. So today I addressed that, and he said, well, there's a time frame for filing that I should have filed it 8 days before this, for that. But he will consider me filing another, to go ahead and file a motion to recuse. And I addressed him, I shouldn't have to file a motion to recuse. You should voluntarily recuse yourself and every judicial circuit judge here. But he said, well, I normally would bring an outside judge anyway on a trial like that, but I can't go on normally, maybe, because you may change your mind during the trial. You know, he should do the honorable thing, because I never had an issue with Judge Gillis. He's always been fair. I have no problems with him. But in this case, he should voluntarily recuse himself.
Okay, now, thank you, Mr. Bob, where the justice leads tonight. Facebook, George Roscoe, YouTube, Boston, G.B.R. Today I traveled to Douglas and Crawford County Courthouse because Bobby Worthy and
1R171 State versus Bobby Worthy and Paul L. Nally. Mr. Nally out there?
We're talking about the hall. Oh,
okay. Gentlemen, if you want to come on up here.
Sure.
All right, this matter is coming on for motion to settle filed by the state. Mr. Kenneth Muhammad is here. Mr. Muhammad, are you for both defendants?
Yes, I am. I filed my entry for both.
You can say that. All right, is the state ready?
yes, sir.
Defense ready?
Yes, Judge. I actually was going to make a statement to the court, a small housekeeping matter, if I could, before we begin, if that's okay with the court.
Sir.
Okay, I just entered for both defendants. There was one piece of, I always knew that there were motions that I intended to file. But in the course of our discussions today, it seems that one of the motions that now I know that I'm going to be filing may be such that the court may want to handle all the motions at once. And so I think it may be best if we continue this hearing to handle all motions at one time. The information I received today was that one of my clients sent a letter to this court before the document was filed, which is the subject of this particular case. I haven't seen the letter, and my clients have discussed with me the possibility of a need for a motion to recuse. Since I haven't seen the letter and I don't know the nature of it, I can't speak to the specifics of any motion that I would file with regard to that at this time, but I think it may make sense to handle that and the other motions that I was going to file all at once with this one. And I just wanted to bring that to the court's attention.
Judge, I started off here at 9 o'clock because I was on a different schedule. I don't even work in Douglas anymore. I drove over for it. It was rescheduled. Went back to Waycross. Now I'm back here for this hearing. I'm ready to go on this motion to sever. I don't know what he's got to file. He can file whatever he needs to. We can hear them when they need to hear. But I don't see a reason why this needs to be kicked down the road with this motion.
Again, Judge, I didn't know the nature of Mr. Sansot's travels, and this information came to me today. I know that my client has already filed, one of my clients has filed a plea in bar already, and it's my intent to file a supplement to that motion that he's already filed. And it appears to have been timely filed, and that hasn't been heard yet. But again, in the course of our discussions today, I'm just finding out about this letter now. And I'm thinking that there's at least a potential it could be an issue if the court ruled in favor of the state and then we did have a recusal motion, and it could end up where it puts the decision on this hearing today at issue. So that's the reason I'm bringing it to the court's attention.
And hearing more of that about what this letter was, I'm not familiar with it. I don't know if the court's familiar with any letter is received on this case with the defendants. I do know that any motions to recuse a judge have to be filed within a very short window of the issue being known. So if it's something that happened way back when this case was indicted, it's going to be untimely at this point. The defendants, and I know that there's some finances involved, but they just hired an attorney. This case has already got age on it before we've even done anything on it. And by virtue of that, these things haven't been heard yet, but I would think it would be a little late to file any motion to recuse when the parties, if there is any basis for it, if it's something that the defendants were already aware of and hasn't been filed.
And obviously, Judge, I can't speak to that, and I can't speak to any legal exceptions on timing or any of that, because we have to get the details in order to know that. And so I think today's hearing, barring some surprise that I don't know about, this sounds like a 15-minute hearing, and so I don't see this being a major thing. If we're going, we know we're gonna have more, additional hearing anyway, to add 15 minutes at another time. I don't see how it prejudices anybody to just wait.
Your Honor, I realize I'm represented by counsel, but may I speak?
It's up to Mr. Muhammad.
Mr. Muhammad, would you entertain my?
I would actually ask that you not speak, since we don't.
The only reason is probably to confer with you right now, but I'll yield.
I prefer to handle recusals first before I hear any substantive issues in the case. I know Mr. Sansot's been here now twice today, but I think it would be prudent to receive and have the motion to recuse, if there is one, dealt with first. Mr. Muhammad, I'm sure you're probably aware that the state has requested or trying to aid the circuits in catching up with COVID backlog cases.
Okay, I was not aware.
Yes,
But I can imagine.
there's a major effort underway in that regard, and that effort requires us to emphasize serious violent felonies first. So my plan on that, as it impacts this case, is that there would be what we call an ARPA judge, that is grant money received by the circuits, to catch up on backlog, and they allow us to bring in senior judges to help us. I won't be trying this case no matter what, but you might have a dispositive motion here with me ruling on pretrial issues. So I'll continue the case, let you take a look at it, see if you want to file the motion. If so, I think it comes to me first, and I'll pass on the sufficiency. But no matter what, I would not be the trial judge on that. And I'll just bring that up as it may impact whatever it is you're going to look at. Okay?
Yes, thank you, Judge.
And Judge, I would ask in the future, if we have motions scheduled that they're set for a time that we know that they're going to happen, it's not fair to the state, or quite frankly to me, to be coming back and forth like this when the defense attorney was just hired yesterday, now appears for the hearing from WebEx, and is now asking for this continuance. And I understand the court's reasoning, but I would just ask for some, when we have them set down, that we actually have them, that we don't have more last minute.
Well, now that you've got water in the case, I think you all will be able to narrow issues and work out scheduling and stuff in the future. And I'm sure Mr. Muhammad, if he spots an issue, will give you a call in the future.
I will do that. And Mr. Sansot, I actually assumed that you were going to be on WebEx also, so I would definitely make that call to you in the future.
All right, well, I'll grant the defense's request for continuance. Now, going back to the issue of trying to move and clear backlog cases, this case could be in trial in June or July. So if there's a motion, let's go ahead and get that filed and let's get that underway so we can get this case on trial track. Because I have different ARPA judges coming in, different trial weeks, is what I'm saying. So I don't know what's available, plus we're regularly setting down cases for trial when it may not necessarily be a regularly scheduled trial. Again, just trying to clear backlog cases. So the case would be moving pretty quick. So if you'll get that motion down this way, I'll take a look at it and do whatever we need to do with it.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
question, who determines in my mind what I allege according to the law alleged is false? That's what I want to know. Who determines that? Prosecutors? Because this is crazy.
I don't get into the weeds right now because that'll have to be determined. There'll probably be some pre-trial hearings on it or whatever, you know. But let's see.
And we could always hope that learned counsel for the county might see the error of their ways and move for dismissal. Who knows?
All things are possible.
All things are possible.
If your address should change, of course, notify the clerk's office here so you get notices.
Got it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else?
Nothing safe.
All right, gentlemen, that'll conclude this for today. Good luck, and I'll see you in the future, or maybe some other judge. I don't know, for now, schedule.
Thank you, y'all.
Take care. Have a great day.
Y'all do now. All right. Wood versus Osteen. Christopher Wood versus Tammy Osteen, 22B 434.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. What did I say? I'm saying?
Come right.
Now back to your question that I missed in saying all that. You asked me a question, Mr. Ryan. Repeat it for me.
Short form? White contractors and black contractors
Yes, sir.
performed their job.
Yes, sir.
They got paid, and Oscar did. Oscar's mad as hell, and I would be too. So explain that.
Yes, sir. Mr. Roscoe Allen, all of this started when Mr. Roscoe Allen did not receive his $40,000 where he was a private contractor developing property in the city of Douglas. Mr. Allen came before the city council to request his reimbursement of his $40,000 for developing water, sewer development in a certain community here in Douglas. The city council failed to pay Mr. Allen his $40,000 for his subdivision development for the water sewer. But yet, the white contractors got their monies.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I was on the council and still on the council. Mr. Allen came before us several times to request that he get reimbursed of his monies. Mr. Allen was never reimbursed. As a result of never being reimbursed, he came to our meeting several times requesting it. The mayor became upset and irate that he kept coming. He found a way to stop him from coming asking for his money, and he decided to take out a restraining order on Mr. Allen so that he could no longer come before our city council to request his money. And that's the gist of how all of this got started. Mr. Allen was only exercising his rights, but Mr. Pope, the mayor, did not want him to do so. He felt that it was embarrassing him as the mayor. He did not like it, and he filed for a restraining order based on no facts, based on no witnesses, because I was in the courthouse when they had the hearing about it. He had no witnesses present to say that Mr. Allen had been stalking him and harassing him, and the judge granted it anyway. I filed for a restraining order against Robert Preston, who threatened me at a city council meeting. However, my restraining order was not granted, and it was on camera of Mr. Preston threatening me. So you go figure. Is it apples to apples in Coffee County, apples to oranges, or apples, oranges, and bananas? Citizens of Douglas and Coffee County, get up off your butts and investigate and look into what's happening here, and take a stand and vote these corrupt people out of office.
Hey, stop.
Chief, you lied. You lied. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You lied.
You need to move, Mr. President.
You lied.
Mr. President.
You lied. You got some mad because you know you lied. That's why you got some mad.
Robin.
I'm good. It's just wrong for folks to sit and tell us blatant lies about the people they want.
I had mine on. Are there any forms I need to sign?
Allen came before the city council to request his reimbursement of his $40,000 for developing water, sewer development in a certain community here in Douglas. The city council failed to pay Mr. Allen his $40,000 for his subdivision development for the water sewer. Yet, the white contractors got their monies. I'm positive. I was on the council and still on the council. Mr. Allen came before us several times to request that he get reimbursed of his monies.
Just like now got mad with me about this right here. I gave every one of y'all copies right here. It says right here. Now, Matt McGowan had one, all y'all had one. It says, Commissioner Roper, deposition testimony. You heard what I said? Matt McGowan said it's a summary. Now, he's a lawyer, you know that? He had a copy of this. That's what it said right here. It says, Commissioner Roper, deposition testimony. Now, I'm going to tell you what Mr. Roper said about this testimony. You understand that? About this, waste, this sewage law. This water sufficient policy, y'all said that was suspended. That policy never was suspended. Now, you too, Preston, you write the news too. Now, you wrote about them going on that trip. Spending, what, $1,700? Why didn't you put this in the paper about Francis Locke, Griffin, Gillis, Joseph, this is free, water sewer ran free behind closed doors. I found about the policy, y'all said suspended. It was never suspended. Why you put that in the paper? Preston, huh? Does it on problem where you at? Why you put that in the paper? But you don't put in the paper about what they done, little penny money, and you go, they spending $1,000 on water waste sewer. It cost me $42,000 right mine. Now what you think it cost them? They so even bigger than mine. Then y'all complaining about, hey, every time I fight with this new paper is biased towards black. That's what I'm suing it does now. What I'm saying. Okay, how much money I spent, I'm gonna sue the city too. Come on, and Charlie Taylor, how I got rated substitute of my God, you tell me, how I got
came before the city council to request his reimbursement of his $40,000 for developing water, sewer development in a certain community here in Douglas. The city council failed to pay Mr. Allen his $40,000 for his subdivision development for the water sewer.
Next on the agenda, the next person will be Roscoe Allen.
First of all, I had my attorney to go back and pull the original lawsuit that I had filed against the city concerning reimbursement of my water and sewer line by putting it in all my land subdivisions. This is right here. It says that the city of Douglas, it said that the city of Douglas, Georgia, Mike Law, an individual in his official capacity as mayor of the city of Douglas, Georgia, Elizabeth Pierce, an individual in her official capacity as member of the city of Douglas Board of Commissioners, Johnny Roper, individual in his official capacity as member of the city of Douglas Board of Commissioners, Charles Moore, individual in his official capacity member of the city of Douglas Board of Commissioners, Ron Allison, individual in the official capacity as member of the city of Douglas Board of Commissioners, Robert Moore, individual in his official capacity as member of the city of Douglas Board of Commissioners, and Don Brooks, individual in his official capacity as member of the city of Douglas Board of Commissioners. Now, first of all, I'm going to say this right here.
Hold on, Mr. Roscoe. Get the mayor and commission during the moment so that they can have attention to what you're saying.
I was paying attention, I was just explaining something.
Yeah, well, I was hearing you talking, so it's interrupted. Go ahead.
You understand? Okay, now.
We'll start over this. Yeah, start over.
You want to read all again?
No, you called the names already.
I know, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, just pick up where you left off with the names.
Okay, all right, now, next is this right here. Now, y'all are making money off my subdivision that I put in. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a scenario, which y'all made based on an ad for $300 a month light bill. There's 15 residents over here. Now, you take that there. You take that there. I added $300 a month times 15 residents over there. The light bill, that's $4,500 a month. Now, you multiply that times 12, it's about to be $54,000. You got that? Now, you take that, I put that something in 1999. You started getting revenues off of it in 2000. Multiply that times 19, you come up with over $1,026,000. Now, that included sanitation, that included water and sewer, and also that included city taxes. Now, you got that? Now, number two, I'm gonna read this. This concerning, this is right here. This is fight. On all y'all listen time. All y'all listen to this.
You need to speed up because you're 3 minutes about up.
No, my work session now. In 3 minutes, I gave you a copy of what the work session. Now, I gave you a copy last hour here. Concerning the work session.
3 minutes.
Out y'all on file now.
I'm going to give you an additional.
Well, never cool for me. They want to open up sunshine.
Start the clock.
Don't get distracted with
No,
what
I'm
you're saying.
telling you, in the work session, you don't have no time limit.
Okay,
I'm going to file, they got a copy of it. Last time I came up with like, come on now. He come right out, open up sunshine out y'all rest. Now, in the work session, we go, I am on 3 minutes.
This is what we're going to do.
Now,
fine.
Now, I'm telling you that now.
I have spoken.
You got the chair. Now, I pull.
You got it?
Stay.
I don't understand why you don't wait.
Go ahead.
You come out y'all file.
Go ahead.
That ain't right. You understand? Now, I'm trying to do right up, if we right about the shit.
Okay.
Now, come on now.
In 3 minutes, we're moving forward.
Okay, man.
Stay focused, Mr. Adams.
I'm staying focused now.
All right. Finish telling us your points.
You know, I don't give up. All I can say about it, I've been trying to be nice. All right, now this is to let out to you. Okay. Within the next few days, Adam met with the mayor of Douglas, Mike Law, who accompanied him to a subdivision being developed by friends and lot. The crew were installing water and sewer lines. Adam informed the mayor that the city had hired subcontractors to install the line in lot subdivision. According to Adam, the mayor responded that if we doing it for them, we got to do it for you. And it appears that neither Mayor Lockwood nor Commissioner Moore recalled during their initial meeting was added that the board had suspended the city water sewer extension policy in May of 1999. The end is in. It is clear that neither of them informed Adam that the policy was no longer in effect. Thus, in February or March of 2000, Adam sought to be placed on the agenda for the city board meeting so that he could demand reimbursement from the city for expenses he incurred installing a water and sewer line in the Alton Heights subdivision. He was placed on the agenda for the board May of 2000. Okay. Sometime after the policy suspension, Cycle Plain submitted that on April the 12th of 1999, the board voted to pay $40,000 for water and sewer extension for the golf club extension area owned by Ralph Evans. Fire Plain simply asserted, relying on the deposition of Commissioner Olivia Pearson, that the board was still considering requests for assistance from white subdivision developers after the policy suspension date. They assert that if the board was granting requests after the policy was suspended, it was not actually suspended.
plaintiff, Commissioner Roper, stated that he did not vote to change that policy. The board approved assistance under a policy for white developer after the start of the suspension date and the other developer. Longwood was the mayor of the city of Douglas.
Nally, that's your time.
Oh, man, I got 2 more little sentences to go, man.
I give you those 2 sentences.
Let me tell you, this is the thing, now, we would need to get this straight, man.
I'm gonna give you
now, I'm trying to be nice about this, I don't know why.
And I am too, Mr. Allen.
It ain't no, you ain't got. Okay, now.
Finish your 2 sentences.
Stay focused. Okay, Lockwood, the mayor of the city of Douglas, in the state of Georgia, was the address at 902 Lee Avenue, Douglas, Georgia, relative within the judicial district. Senator Lockwood, mayor of the city of Douglas, who at all times material to duly elected mayor of Douglas. He violated plaintiff's constitution and state law rights. Lockwood being sued in both this individual in official capacity. Now, in reference to the complaint, defendant Olivia Pierce, who was a duly elected member of the city of Douglas in the state of Georgia, the address is at 614 Taylor Circle, Douglas, Georgia. The county distribution address. Pearson stated that this is what I want to read y'all now. I want to read it, because you know it was a 3-3 vote when I took it. Came up here about this. Right. Mayor Lockwood said, I got to you go to get tonight. I want to read this here. Wasn't no way I could have won this lawsuit. I'm going to read this here. I want you to listen to this now.
Mr. Allen, this has been decided by the federal court.
Look, man.
And I have allowed you more time than what you were supposed to have. No, you've already done that. Your time is up.
No, the
Your
judge
time was up.
The judge
Davis
said this,
Mr. Allen.
that you go against me.
This is a lawful meeting. Mr. Davis, what's the next item? What's the next item on the agenda?
Judge, you go against me.
That's a lie.
Then Roper go against me. And
No city manager up
I
there.
tell you what.
So as
I'm
far
gonna research this
as
out.
the meeting,
Now,
you are disturbing a lawful meeting.
It's not right.
So the next thing, as far as the updates during the meeting, is what I want to discuss as the mayor of the city of Douglas. Mr. Allen, stop.
I'm gonna sit down, man.
Yeah, no, you supposed to sit down a few minutes ago.
You ain't no now.
Well, as an elected official, and he told me that I voted against it. That's not true. That's not true.
This has already been decided in a court of law.
Well, that's a lie.
No.
And it needs to be addressed.
So the next thing before the council is this, under the city manager's updates. Also in the email that I sent out this morning, I would like for us to entertain suspending the mayor and commissioner's comments from our regular meeting. We need to make sure that we're having a professional meeting, that it gets out of hand sometimes, and the citizens are not pleased with the way that these meetings are being conducted. So that is the issue before us.
That's right.
Mr. Allen, we are talking.
And you is a big liar.
Okay, that's
I went to you and told you. You said you had no right.
What's your conversation?
You will a big liar. So I'm not through. So I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna investigate
You are still disrupting a lawful meeting. Mr. Allen, I am asking you to be quiet. Be quiet, Mr. Allen.
That's right.
Mr. Durham.
You got
I'll come out there,
Mr. Durham.
over sunshine law.
Mr. Durham.
With that,
We'll talk.
You have the floor. Mr. Durham.
you ain't right. I'm gonna sue it up, see it. Cause I got the dog file baby home, being up here.
Mr. Durham.
Sir,
No, the work said there's no time in it.
Right, you don't want to be recognized.
I want to be recognized, but it's the way you just hollered at me.
Well, okay, I'm sorry.
I understand there's stuff going on, but we all got
Mr.
to
Durham.
focus.
Mr. Durham.
Okay, thank you. My thing is, by taking our voices in our minutes, you saying what the citizens saying that they don't like the unprofessionalism and what's going on. But if you suspend our comments as a commissioner, we are sitting here in the seat by the citizens.
Okay.
So my thing is, at the end of the day, it would be unlawful and unethical and unprofessional for us not to say anything about that. And that goes to right it is. It's dictatorship. And I don't think that that's possible. And I don't think that that's right.
Upset because of situation. What is not okay is when that conversation becomes harmful or threatening, we got to make sure we know the difference. They are part responding. Considering the intention that people have in this day of time, I can agree that something should be in place.
But yet, the white contractors got their monies. I'm positive. I was on the council and still on the council. Mr. Allen came before us several times to request that he get reimbursed of his monies.
Next item 2, Roscoe Allen, he's out here discussing issues and providing subdivision.
As Mr. Allen is going to the podium, we're going to make sure that we stay within our 3-minute time frame. So, Mr. Allen, if you would, at the conclusion of your 3 minutes, we're going to proceed with the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, I don't reject this subdivision situation where they say that what the newspaper put in the paper on the last paper they wrote, they said that our ordinance had been suspended. When I found out, the ordinance hadn't been suspended. That's a lie. It got suspended when I had a lawyer. The sued the city, then they brought that in. Cause I put my lawyer in my truck and carried him over there. He told me to get on the gym. We got to reimburse you like we done the rest of it. So that power was not suspended, that's why. Number 2, Tony Powell, don't you listen real good, you hear me? Now I got this out, y'all open record quick and sunshine law, don't you listen real good, you hear me? Listen good now. Alright, this 3 minutes. There never was no 3 minute in the work session. You understand that, y'all? This is law, you know, they own file now. Well, it was never no 3 minute in the work session. It was 3 minutes with all anticipation for 3 minutes. In the work session, you get to speak long you want to speak. And this come out y'all file. Open record, sunshine law, Mr. Paul. I want you to listen to it. You got okay. You don't run this city by yourself, brother. I mean what I say. Now, this is what it says now. It said that according to a charge, y'all charge, you got that Mr. Paul. The city of Douglas government by law, rule, or order, new revised section 28, parliamentary procedure, section 2-29, states that the mayor shall decide, you got that? Not make decisions for what I'm in the midst of here. Y'all got nothing in y'all order just said that a person got 3 minutes in a work session. That's a fight now. This come out y'all own file, Mr. Paul. So you were wrong last week telling I only got 3 minutes in a work session. Know your law, know your rules out here. You the mayor. All right, we finna read it. Now you got that. Now it says this right here. That the mayor shall preside at all commission meetings. That's what it says, preside. Okay, it said preserve order and decorum. It said nothing about no 3 minutes in no work session. Y'all got that? This come out y'all file. I requested this. Ain't no ordinance that said nothing about no 3 minutes in no work session. You got that? So you're wrong. Now all y'all up in the commission need to know what's going on up here. You got that? It's wrong. So you were wrong last week. You took on had 3 minutes. Know your rules. Know your regulations. You got that? That's all I got to say now.
And Mr. Allen, you share that with Ms. Henderson so she can...
I said this, I want to share it with you. About the minute.
You get copies for him. Oh, Roger. You get copies for him. He wants copies.
I'll get some copies, Mom. Don't worry about that.
He's going to go right to the copy room, Mr. Ed. He brings it right back to you.
Ain't got nothing to work. Nothing about no 3 minutes. No order, no nothing. I'm gonna write Mr. Jerome. I told her everything they had. I had my mother to write it down and put it for me.
Mr. Allen.
No, I'm telling you that.
Thank you.
I ain't gonna be like that. Fight.
Mr. Roscoe Allen, all of this started when Mr. Roscoe Allen did not receive his $40,000 where he was a private contractor developing property in the city of Douglas. Mr. Allen came before the city council to request his reimbursement of his $40,000 for developing water, sewer development in a certain community here in Douglas. The city council failed to pay Mr. Allen his $40,000 for his subdivision development for the water sewer. But But yet, the white contractors got their monies.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I was on the council and still on the council. Mr. Allen came before us several times to request that he get reimbursed of his monies. Mr. Allen was never reimbursed. As a result of never being reimbursed, he came to our meeting several times requesting it. The mayor became upset and irate that he kept coming. He found a way to stop him from coming asking for his money, and he decided to take out a restraining order on Mr. Allen so that he could no longer come before our city council to request his money. And that's the gist of how all of this got started. Mr. Allen was only exercising his rights, but Mr. Paul, the mayor, did not want him to do so. He felt that it was embarrassing him as the mayor. He did not like it, and he filed for a restraining order based on no facts, based on no witnesses, because I was in the courthouse when they had the hearing about it. He had no witnesses present to say that Mr. Allen had been stalking him and harassing him, and the judge granted it anyway. I filed for a restraining order against Robert Preston, who threatened me at a city council meeting. However, my restraining order was not granted, and it was on camera of Mr. Preston threatening me. So you go figure. Is it apples to apples in Coffee County? Apples to oranges, or apples, oranges, and bananas? Citizens of Douglas and Coffee County, get up off your butts and investigate and look into what's happening here. And take a stand and vote these corrupt people out of office.
Next item, person is Roscoe Allen, 7065 Estelle Road, here to speak about some violations in this respect. Good evening. We have 3 minutes.
First of all, Mayor, see the charter here. You have been violating your oath of office. Also, you've been violating the city charter. I have the power of the duty of the mayor right here. It says that mayor shall preside at all meetings of the city commission. Be the head of the city for the purpose of serving process and to serve on the purpose and be the official person for the city and the chief executive of policy. Have the power to administer oath and take a affidavit. This is the main one I'm talking about. Order. Jerome, you listen to me, I call it. Orders and other instruments executed by the city, which by law are required to be in writing. Now, just like this right here, say 3 minutes. Now, y'all in the work say, ain't no such thing in there. Y'all got an order say, I got 3 minutes. You got it? This is the city charter. It tells everybody what they can and can't do. Now, all right, Jerome? That's a fight now. Right here. Now, I have also, every public official who hold elected office either by election or by appointment is subject to recall from office by the electors who are ready and qualified to vote in the recall election who reside in the electoral district from which county they are elected to their office. Now, right? Abuse of office, Mayor, criminal law violation can arise from public service, including violation of oath of office. All right? Okay. This is the things that you can be took from office for. Suspension and removal of elected officials. And all y'all listen to me. Okay. Has to be an act of malfeasance. Now this is what malfeasance means to all y'all here. It means wrong when expected by a public official. You got me now? Okay, I'm going down the line here.
You have 30 seconds.
I know I got Mayor, and also Mayor, I will meet with my city, I will meet with my attorney. One coach who do not have no real good, he now sued the city to court on Wednesday at 8:30. Now, I'm not going for no recall.
a one for impeachment or altered by the mayor. You got that? Put it in the paper, because I'm going for it. That's right. Every time I come up here, I try to do right. Hey, you shut me down. That's right.
Alan, that's your 3 minutes.
Well, that's fine with me, nigga. Thank you. We gonna be up here, but if I can. You got to fight. I told y'all something back there.
Mr. Davis?
Thank you, man. Thank you, too. I appreciate it. Nah, I'm through.
Comments and
Okay. Well, we have a few minutes. We'll do it again in 5 minutes. Okay? Thank you.
You go figure. Is it apples to apples in Coffee County? Apples to oranges, or apples, oranges, and bananas? Citizens of Douglas and Coffee County, get up off your butts and investigate and look into what's happening here. And take a stand and vote these corrupt people out of office. Mr. Roscoe Allen, all of this started when Mr. Roscoe Allen did not receive his $40,000 where he was a private contractor developing property in the city of Douglas. Mr. Allen came before the city council to request his reimbursement of his $40,000 for developing water, sewer development in a certain community here in Douglas. The city council failed to pay Mr. Allen his $40,000 for his subdivision development for the water sewer. But yet, the white contractors got their monies.
Sure?
I'm positive. I was on the council and still on the council. Mr. Allen came before us several times to request that he get reimbursed of his monies. Mr. Allen was never reimbursed. As a result of never being reimbursed, he came to our meeting several times requesting it. The mayor became upset and irate that he kept coming. He found a way to stop him from coming asking for his money, and he decided to take out a restraining order on Mr. Allen so that he could no longer come before our city council to request his money. And that's the gist of how all of this got started. Mr. Allen. But yet, the white contractors got their monies. I'm positive. I was on the council and still on the council.
I'm too listening to good here. Now I got this out, y'all. Open up the crack, the sunshine off. I'm too listening real good here. It never was a agreement in the They own file now. Well, it would never go 3 minutes. You know what? It was 3 minutes before the participation for 3 minutes. And the person said, if it's long, you want space. And this is about y'all file. All the rap the sunshine law. I want you to listen to me till you got that. So you're wrong. Now all y'all up in the business, you know what's going on up here. You got that? It's wrong. So you were wrong and we took on in 3 minutes. Know your rule. Know your regulations. You got that? That's all I got to say now.
And Mr. Allen, you share that with Tennessee Associates.
I said it's not going to share with you. About the minute.
You can cut the code. Or Roger, right? Roger, you can cut the code. He bring it right back to you.
Ain't got nothing to work to. It's nothing about no 3 minutes. No order, no nothing. I'm all right, Mr. Officer Jerome. I told her everything they had. I had my mother to write.